Right, technical issues resolved. I think we are up and running again. Let me just check sound's working. Yeah, sound is good. Right, so if we bring our design back up, so we're gonna work on building this today. We're going to try and do it in the next, see what we can get done in the next 30 minutes or so. And we'll take it from there. And hopefully it'll come together quite quickly. And maybe what we'll do is we'll focus on the main structure and then we'll kind of put the details in afterwards. So I'll drag that off the screen for now. And I'll keep referring to that. So if you see me look this way, that'll be why. So I've created basically a new install of WordPress, and I don't really want to go into how that's done quite yet. We might do that in some future videos though, but there's loads and loads of guides on YouTube how to do that, so I don't want to go into it too much. But I do want to show you a few basics around WordPress and the things that we're going to have to do to take this from looking like this to looking like our design. So the first thing that I'm going to do is install a plugin, and there's a really cool free plugin called Elementor, which enables you to essentially build a website in a really visual way. So if we just search for Elementor and install, it shouldn't take too long. There we go, and then we have to activate it as well. So we just activate that. So that's step number one. I'm just going to actually, while I'm here, I want to turn off this caching. Basically, caching means that it tries to make your website faster, but while you're building it, it's not a great thing to have turned on. So I'm just going to deactivate that for now. Keep it there, and then we'll update it later and turn it back on, and that'll make our website a little bit faster, hopefully. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install a new theme. So we've got plugins here. If we go into appearance and then themes, we can find some themes, and there's a specific one that is kind of suggested that you use with Elementor, and it's this one here called Hello Elementor. So we'll just install that, and you can see that happens really fast, and we'll activate that. And our website should have changed now. So if we just refresh on this, it's got worse. Perfect. But sometimes it's got to get worse to get better. So that gives us at least a starting point of what, that's kind of the basic things installed. And then we might have to come back and install some more plugins later on where we want to add more functionality to the website. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come into pages. I'm going to create a home page. So if you just click on pages at the side, you can see we've got a privacy policy and a sample page. So I'm just going to delete that sample page and just get rid of that. I'm also, while I remember, so we don't get a load of spam, I'm going to come into posts. I'm going to delete this hello world post, so there's no posts. So I'm going to come back into pages, and then at the top I'm just going to click add new. I'm going to call it home page, and then I'm going to save it. So I'm not going to use this block editor at all. So I just want to get rid of that. I'm just going to home, and then I'm just going to publish. And then what we've got here is, we've got where our website is eps.problem.co, and then we've got this, thing after it, which is a get parameter in web terms. But we don't want that. I just want it to be nothing after it because it's our home page. So we'll do that next. So if we click back on the WordPress logo over here, and then we'll come back to settings, and I think it's not under general, I think it's under reading. So we can fix, in fact, it probably doesn't make any sense actually. So what we'll do first is we'll do the permalinks. And we can see at the minute we've got plain, which looks like this. I just want it to be post name. So there's no date, there's no month, there's no numbers, just post name. So I'm just going to click on that and click Save Changes. So now, if we come back to Pages and All Pages, if we hover over View, in fact, we'll go and Edit. So it should show us what the link to the page is. Permalink here, and we can see now it's home. So it makes it eps.problem.co/home, but I don't want it to be at /home. I want this to be the home page. And at the minute, if we preview this page in a new tab, you'll see that it's nothing. But I do want it to be home. If we just look at the home page, you can see it says archives, we've got hello world. If we refresh it, we shouldn't even have that because we just deleted that. So it just says archives at the minute, but I want it to be this page instead. So to do that, we click on the WordPress icon again, and then we come into settings and settings and reading. And under here it says your home page displays your latest posts or a static page, and we want a static page. And we're just going to set that to home. And later on, if we add a blog, we're going to make a page called blog, and we're going to set that to blog. So if we press Save Changes and then come back here, at the moment it says archives, but if I refresh the page, I'm hoping it says home, which it does. Perfect. So that's the kind of technical setup done for the home page. So I'm going to come back to dashboard now. I'm going to just get rid of these. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go back into my page. I'm going to come back into my home page, and then I'm going to click Edit with Elementor. I'm not bothered about any autosave. I just want to edit with Elementor. And I'm going to start adding some elements to my page now. So in where we've lost it, so if we come back to Figma, we just drag Figma over. I know that I need a logo, I need a menu, I need this top bar, I need this text. So I need to start just building out some of these elements on the page. And I think the first thing I'm going to start with is the background image. So if I click on this add template thing here, there might be some blocks to make my life a little bit easier, or maybe there might be some pages that can make my life a little bit easier as well. So you can always have a look at them and drag them in. Some say Pro and Go Pro, so you have to buy a license to use some of them, but a lot of them you don't have to use a license for. We obviously have a license, so if there's anything that we kind of want to use as a start, we can use that. But I don't actually, I just want to make everything from scratch. So I'm going to click on this plus, and I know that I need one column for this. So I'm just going to click on a big block, and then I'm going to click on this here, and that takes me back to my widget list. And I know that I've got a big title, so I'm going to use this heading. I'm going to drag that in there. I know underneath the heading I've got some text, so I'm going to use this text editor one. I'm going to drag that underneath, and then I know underneath that I've got a button, so I'm going to drag that underneath. And I'm just going to put the text in. I'm just going to copy it over. So you can't see me doing this. I'm just doing copy from Figma. I'm just going to pop it in this box at the side, and this is where all your settings live. For Elementor, I'm just going to copy all them things in, just so it makes it easier for you guys to see what it is we're working on and what part of the website. So I'm just going to click update. Now I've got them done. It's good to just click save. Update is just save, so it's just good to click save every now and again. And I know that I need a big old background image for this, and I haven't prepared any of my assets. So So I'm just gonna quickly get this image and export it out as a JPEG to my desktop. Save that. So what I can do then is I'm going to click on this style tab at the top, and we've got background, and we've got normal, and then kind of classic, gradient, video, slideshow. I just want classic. And what I'm doing here, this is kind of like a row. So Elementor works in rows and columns. So I've got one row so far with one column inside it. That's a column. So to edit these, you just kind of click on the tab, and then it brings it up on the left hand side. So I'm just going to click on that tab in the middle. That actually lets you drag it around as well if you need to. So I'm just going to click on that tab, click on style, click on normal background and classic. And then if I hover over choose image, I can actually choose an image, and I can just drag a file into there. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to grab the image that I took. I'm just going to drop it in there, and it's not optimized in any way. So it's huge, it's way too big, but it'll do for now. I'll come back and I'll do some optimizing. So this still looks really, really bad so far. So I'm going to again click on this like 6 dots. Don't know what that's called, so I'm just going to call it 6 dots. And then if I click on layout, you can see I've got this height section here, and I'm just going to fit that to screen, and it's going to make it as big as the screen is. So you can see it kind of fits perfectly in that, and it will get bigger as I make the screen bigger as well if I want it to. So I'm going to do that, and that just gives me a little bit more to work with. And then also on top of this, we've got like an overlay style, so I want to put that on as well. Has my camera turned off? Yep. I'm back. So I want to put like that overlay on as well. So if I go back to style, and then we've got a background overlay setting here, click on that, I can take the settings that I need out of Figma. So I've got this fill 40 on it, so I know it's 41% opacity, and I know it's black. So I can just take that and just enter them settings in here. So classic again, normal, classic, and then color. I want this to be 00000, which is kind of where it is. And then at the moment it's 0.5, so mine is 0.41 I think, so I'll just leave it at 0.45 for now, because we can always come back and refine it, and we probably will, because things usually look different on the web to they do in Figma. So I'm going to leave that as that. Then there's a few more things that I need to do here. So I want to center everything in this column. So I think in fact, the easiest way to do this is just to click on each of the items. So I'm going to click on the handle of each of the items, this blue thing here, and just align, center, align, and on the text editor element, it's on style. So alignment, center, and then on the button, settings, alignment is in content, and I'm just going to put like center. So sometimes things are in different places in Elementor, so you just got to remember that. And if you don't see the setting you want, just have a look around for it, and it will be there somewhere. So, okay, that's starting to come together. So I want to now see how we're doing for time actually. Okay, 14, 15 minutes in. So now I want to put our text in, and we've got Poppins black, and that's size 59. So, and it looks like it's white, it is white. So if I click on my handle for my header text, the first thing I want to do is change this HTML tag to a H1. That'll make it a little bit bigger, but that's nothing to do with it being a H1, that's just to do with Element changing it. To change it to a H1, that helps Google understand that this is the most important thing on the website. And then I want to come in style, and we've got this a little bit different here. Maybe we'll look at these later on, but we can set up some global colors that makes it easy for us to flick between certain colors. So I'm just for now going to set it to white, and then I'm going to set the typography to what it needs to be, which is this pencil icon here. To edit it, I'm going to just type in Poppins, and all the Google fonts are automatically within Elementor, which is really handy. We're going to set the weight to the highest it can be, 900. That's the size that we need. And then I'm going to set this to 59. And it's starting to look a little bit like what we need. I'm just going to check my line height. So that's 120. So I'm going to come on, I've got line height here. I'm not going to have it on PX. I'm going to use M. I'm going to set that to 1.2. And that is essentially 120%, I think. Perfect. We haven't played with the letter spacing in anyway, so I don't need to change that. So that's where we're at. That's perfect. I think we could have a little look at the actual width of this section though, because it seems slightly bigger than what we did have. And you can see in our design, this section is about 858. About 858. It's exactly 858. So if I just set that to 900, that gives us a slightly nicer size to work with. Excellent. So I'm happy with how that's coming on. This text beneath it, we need to do a bit of work around that. That's Poppins semi-bold 2150. So I'm just going to quickly change all these so it's white. Poppins again. So this is where setting up text styles really helps. Semi-bold is 500, I think. 150. That's not going to work. And M's, it needs to be 1.5. And this needs to be text size 20. So I'm already not too happy with how that looks. I think it might need to be a bit smaller. So this is where, when you're building it, sometimes it differs from your design because you're seeing we're seeing the actual thing now, how it's going to look. So it's okay that sometimes we might want to make some changes, and that's fine. So I need to also do some work around that button. We've got a blue button which uses Poppins 16 extra bold, which could be 800. So let's do that, and that's all caps. We've got it in all caps, so that's good. I am just going to transform uppercase, and that's going to force, sorry, I'm on the wrong element here. Change that back to default. So when I come to my button, I'm going to, yeah, this is all fine. Style, typography, change it to Poppins again. $16, weight is 800. We're going to transform uppercase, and that means if ever someone in future decides to change the call to action to I love cats, which I hope they don't, no matter what they put in, it all is in capitals. So I need to copy that text again now, don't I? So it's always in capitals. It's forced it to capitals. Great. And then we're going to change the colour to the colour that we've got over here, which is probably not the actual colour that we're going to use. But for now, it's going to serve as well while building. And then I need to add some padding to this button as well. We can add padding down here. And that's just going to give us a little bit of space around the text for the button to work. I think the button size, I think the text size, yeah, we've got the text size, that's good. So if I'm going to pull this in and kind of show you how to do this. So if you zoom into your button, we can hold down Alt and it gives you all the sizes. So we need like 11 top and bottom and 35 at the sides, roughly. So padding for this is at the bottom. So we said 11, and then right was about 35 and left was about 35. And then we also had a little bit of radius on there, which was 8. So I'm just going to type in an 8 there, which makes it a bit curved on the, yeah, makes it a bit curved around the edges. And then we need some space in between these elements as well. So I'm going to use, let's have a look. So we've got 22 between them two and 45 between these two. So I'm going to use margin bottom to add a bit of space in. I think it was 20. So this is on the advanced tab now. So you just click on the element you want, click on advanced, and we've got margin bottom there. So if we change that to say 100, you see we've got loads. 20 is, element defaults to 20. So if you've got 20 or below, it doesn't matter. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn that off later on, because that just gets in my way. And this needs to be 45. So we're just going to add margin bottom of 45, and we've instantly, almost instantly, got something that looks very much like our design. We just zoom out. Yeah, so we've got like almost like the main building blocks of this section done already. So that's come together really, really fast. The only thing I don't like is this, because it's too big. So it's been a while since I used Elementor, but I'm going to try. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on positioning. I'm going to put width, custom, and then position. I'm not going to change that. Width, custom, and at the moment it's 100%. I'm going to set it to 650, which is exactly how I want it. And then I need to click on the column, and then I need to change this horizontal line to center. Middle. Right, okay, none of them are working. I don't know why, so maybe we'll come back to that, because I can't remember. Widget space, you can see there, just set that to 0, but there's a setting where you can actually change that later. What have I done wrong here? Let's have a look. Position. Do I need to change that? No, I don't want to do that. Absolute. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. That's what I want to do. I've clearly just not set something right there, or it's been overridden by something, because it should be one of these. I think it's that one. So we can come back to that later on. That's fine. Vertical align. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'll come back to that. I've clearly forgotten how to do it. Yeah, you can see it's getting bigger there. Yeah, so I do want it there. I just want it to middle align. So, no, it's not that. Durr. Yeah, that's fine. We'll come back to it. It's something to do with this, but for some reason it's not working. Yeah, it is on center. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Don't worry, Aaron. Don't worry. Right. Cool. Right, so we've got an issue though, because our header isn't looking that good. In fact, it's non-existent. So I want to change that next. So I'm going to click update. That's going to save these changes. And then I think in the free version of Elementor, you can still build your header. So let's go and check that out. So I want to come into Elementor templates. I want to go in theme builder, and I want to do, we can't. That's fine. We'll do it in this page instead. I think we can. So we can't do what I wanted to do because it's how we use the pro version when we build sites in Elementor, which we don't do that much of anymore. But what I can do is, hopefully, if I come to this settings tab here, I can put site layout, Elementor canvas, which means there's no header, no footer, which is what we've got now. It's changed my styles, so I hope that's not going to have killed the site. Don't know why it's done that. Okay, it's just, I don't know what it's done. This sometimes WordPress and Elementor does this. Yeah, and it's back. And it's centered this now, so there must have been a little bit of an issue there. So it wasn't me, it was Elementor. I'm not going mad. That's good. Yeah, that's set, and it will have been this setting here wasn't updating right. Yeah, awesome, thank you. Vindication. So we'll save that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. So I'm actually going to have to change some of this now, but that's fine. That's no issue whatsoever. What I might do is I might add a new section up here. Is that a good idea? Yeah. And then based on our design, I'm going to have two columns. On one side, I'm going to have the site logo. So if I just type in logo, it comes up with site logo, so I want that. Oh, that's a pro. Image. So I just want an image there. And on the other side, I want a menu. If that menu widget's pro, I'm going to be upset. So I want nav, the nav. So I'm going to have to update to pro here to make this work. I wonder. Don't know if that's going to... Right, we haven't got a menu, so I'm just going to apply these changes. And then I'm actually going to create a menu for us to use. Let's just press save. And then create menu. And I don't, this is not going to work very well, but we need a menu. We need to do this anyway. So we're going to type in main. We'll just call it main. And then I'm just going to pop some items in here. I'm going to do them all as custom links. And the URL is going to be an anchor tag. And you do an anchor, and an anchor is how you can quickly move up and down a page. If I can remember what on my keyboard is a hash, it's that one. So I'm going to have pipe work. Copy that. Pipe work. Add that to the menu. Servicing. Which reminds me, I need to get my car in for an MOT. Servicing. Repairs. Don't want capital. Do want this one though. Repairs. And boilers. Two more boilers. And last one is going to be contact us. Which is no good because I don't want that. I'm just going to type this as contact at the top. And this is going to be contact us. And hopefully that will become apparent as we get deeper into the build. Awesome, we've got some menus. So if we save this menu, and you've always got to remember to save on this page, otherwise it won't update your changes. We just refresh this just to see what we've got. Oh, we haven't got much over there, but we've got this, which is looking good. So I'm not sure how far we're actually going to get with the menu section, but we'll get the logo on there at least. So if we come back on the pages, edit with Elementor. So now it knows it's an Elementor page. It gives you that shortcut to get cracking. And I want to upload our logo. our beautiful logo. I want to upload it as an SVG. No, not yet, because that's going to cause us some issues. I'm going to do it as a PNG, which I'm going to change later. And then in here, I'm just going to click on that, click on this, and then go back to my desktop, grab it, and just drop it in there. Well, we can see something because it's grey, that's good. And it's tiny. We're just going to click Insert Media. Now this is a little bit of a tricky thing here. So we're going to add a negative top margin to this section here. So to do that, we click on the handle for this big section. We go on Advanced, and then Margin Top. So we're going to unlink the values. That means whatever we put in the top doesn't automatically go in the bottom. Because at the moment it will. We don't want that to happen. So I want to unlink them values, and then at the top. And what that's going to do is just going to pull that up. It's going to drag it up like that. So the first thing that I want to do before I do that is I want to set this top section here, I want to give it a Z index. So we're getting a bit geeky here, but this Z index, I'm just going to set that to 10,000. And you can see just by setting it to 10, that our logo is now appeared. Your Z index is almost like our layers in Figma. So it lets you give something a top layer, even though it might not necessarily be at the top. It lets you bring it forward in a stack of boxes. So now we've done that, I'm going to go back to where I was. I'll click on this, and it gets trickier when you do this because it's a bit of a hack. So I think it's, so this is our header section. It'd be amazing if you could rename these, but you can't. So click on, so this is like a layer navigator. So just use this instead now. I'm just going to take that all the way to the top until we can't see it. Perfect. And now if we update that, and then if we refresh this, this is starting to come together nicely. I do want to left align this. So we're going to click on the image, and I'm just going to press left align and click update, and then I'm just going to see if that's also updated on the website. Yep, it has. Great. And then this menu is not doing anything, so I'm just going to set that to main. And we can see we've got something here. It's not something that I like, but and it's ruined the website, in fact, but it's something. Just gonna see if I can change any of, no, can't really do anything. So we'd have to do some custom CSS to actually style that in the way. You can't do that, you got to do that in Pro as well. Awesome. So we're just gonna actually delete that for now. We'll do that later. I think that's probably a good time to leave it. That's not how it looks. Elementor's freaked out, which it sometimes does. This is how it looks. So that's where we've got so far in building the website. I'm quite happy with that. I think that looks pretty good. So also if we just go home, it looks exactly like we want it to look. So yeah, we'll leave it there for now, and then tomorrow we will we'll install Elementor Pro, so we've got access to a few more widgets, and we'll keep cracking on with building this, and we'll try and do these testimonials underneath as well tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, yeah, and join me again tomorrow for more stream website magic.